Cox. I am your RYT 200-hour certified yoga instructor. This class is brought to you by Wilkes Recovery Revolution in partnership with Yoga with George Ethan. It's an honor to share this practice with you today. It's going to be all about trying to gain a little bit more flexibility, mobility practice, just because, it's getting colder outside. Life is going to be throwing some curveballs here and there, especially with the holiday season. There's going to be some stressors that may or may not show up. But remaining flexible internally as well as externally can definitely help throughout this process. And this always turns back to following the breath. And I think this practice will really be a helpful tool to those who are trying to manage those things and those feelings that might bubble up. All you're going to need today is, of course, your mat, wearing something comfortable, maybe something nice and soft and loose that you feel good in. I do recommend a block, if accessible, or a thick book to support you in this practice. But if it's not accessible, that's perfectly fine. That is not required. It's just a recommendation. I also am in support of bringing a pillow to today's practice. I'm using one to support my hips as we are going to be doing some movements in our seated position, but the pillow in seated is really good for elevating the posture and helping you find ease in this position here. With that being said, I would love to hear more from you guys. If you would take a brief moment to like or share this video, or simply write a comment letting us know what you think, what you would like to see. We'd love to hear more from our viewers. And especially since this is a time where it's completely virtual, feedback is of the essence and we really appreciate it. So that being said, let's go ahead and roll out our mats and get ready to move today. But take your time doing so. We're going to just start on a nice seated position of your choice. You could sit in a cross-legged seat like so. You could sit in staff pose with your feet out in front of you. You could also sit in a hero position with your hips sitting on in between your heels. But just take your time. Maybe you could do like me and you grab a pillow to sit on, or even your block, just to elevate the spine, to make it easier to find that tall posture, especially if you're not used to yoga. And it's amazing as we grow in our bodies and as some of us enter a sedentary lifestyle, like working in an office or working in a place where we're not in these kind of positions, our bodies kind of move towards focusing on how to sit in that way or stand in that way, and not so much in a cross-legged seat position like we would back when we were kids. So we might not be adjusted to just sitting on the floor, and that's fine. And don't ever feel guilty if there is a position or posture that does not feel comfortable for you. Growth is the awareness that comes up whenever you find a little restraint there. But if you find yourself in any sort of pain, any sort of strain that is beyond your comfort zone, it is okay to ease off, and I will be sure to provide options for all parties so everyone can be able to participate. But yes, let's go ahead and make sure we're nice and comfortable. If you are not already, find your seat and think nice and tall as we begin today, allowing the dust to kind of settle here for just a few minutes. Let's gather our breath. Let's breathe in together. Inhale. And smooth exhale out. On your next inhale, lift the sternum slightly. Find a lift in the crown. And exhale, smooth exhale out, and imagine energy grounding down the back body. Continue your deep breathing as we bring ourselves into the present moment, setting an intention for your practice. It could be a word or a phrase that you use to carry you through moment to moment. Or it could just be a mindset that you aim towards. Today's class is flexibility and mobility. And that could be more than a physical sense. With all that being said, use your breath to guide you. Chain the breath from moment to moment. Use your breath to move you from position to position. And everything will be nice and safe. Maybe close your eyes, feeling your sitting bones nice and grounded here. With each inhale, raise the sternum up just a little bit. And exhale, relaxing the shoulders down, down, down. Do maybe 2 or 3 more deep breaths at your own pace. You don't have to follow my cues per se. Meet yourself where you are, that's the main thing. But envision the expansion of the body with each inhale and the contraction of each exhale. See if you can't expand a little more with each inhale. Contract a little more with each exhale. All right, last in breath here. And out. Open the eyes if they're not open already. We're going to do a forward fold from this position here. Starting going straight forward. We're going to inhale, scoop our arms forward and up, parallel palms. Pulling those thumbs back, think nice and tall here. And then exhale, float them forward like you're painting a wall, placing your hands on the ground. Now, this may be your fold. You don't have to entirely crease at the hips and reach towards the floor, but maybe you could take baby steps here as you get more comfortable and breathe into the hip joints here. You inhale, look forward, and then exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, soften towards the ground. Now, as you're softened here, remain in this position. Breathe into the hips. And see if you can soften a little deeper here. And the main thing is to keep your sitting bones glued to the mat or pillow. If they lift off, try to move them back into position. Now, the main thing is we're not trying to force ourselves into these postures, but rather using our breath as a tool to ease into it. So breathe deep. Take one more breath in and out. Very good. We're going to now inhale, lift our heads only. Walk our hands to the left 1 or 2 paces. And then exhale, chin to chest as we get a nice stretch in the right back body. Breathe in, look forward, and out. Again, your elbows may be straight here. Maybe this is your position and you're practicing with just looking forward and then chin to chest. Or you can walk your arms forward, elbows bent, and you get closer to the ground. Now breathe in between your shoulder blades and your right hip here without lifting your head up. Inhale.
And exhale, find softness. Inhale here. And soften. Awesome. Walk your hands back just a pace. Inhale, look forward. Walk your hands towards the right this time. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk your palms forward. Allow your chin to rest towards your chest, keeping both glutes glued to the mat here or the pillow. And I didn't mention it for earlier, but if you did not have an access to a pillow or block, needed that extra padding for your hips, you can also use a blanket or even roll up the mat. But continue your deep breathing here. So we now focus the breath in towards our left hip, left lower back, and in between our shoulders. Breathe in, gaze forward. Fill up the rib cage. Exhale, chin to chest. Now, with chin remaining near the chest, breathe into our shoulder blades and our lower left back. Find expansion and exhale, soften. Find release. Inhale together now. And exhale. Awesome. Use your inhale to take your hands to walk yourself back to center here. Take a breath in between. Think nice and tall. And exhale. Now notice any difference already from where we began. Do you notice something? Stay where you are, and we're going to get ready for our next warm-up. This is our seated overhead arm stretch, which I love so much because it works so many parts of the torso and even down to the glutes. So what I invite you to do is have both sets of fingertips on the mat, making like a triangle from your sternum down to the fingertips. Inhale, lift the sternum. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Now we're going to start with the right palm, flipping it up. Inhale, guide it up and over to the left side, pulling that right elbow back, pulling the right thumb back. Maybe a slight bend at the left elbow. And if you feel comfortable bringing that left elbow all the way down, you may, but that is not required. Just focus on the sensation and finding that stretch in the lower right hip or the back body here where your low back meets your right glute. Keeping awareness in the sternum, maintaining it nice and open. Breathe. See if you can't stretch a little longer, keeping the glute on the right side glued down to the pillow or mat beneath you. All right, on your next inhale, float the right palm down and place your fingertips down, and then proceed to inhale, flip the left palm, reach up and over from the left side this time. Breathe deep. Keeping mindfulness of where your body meets the floor here. Maintain mindfulness of the breath and the sternum. Maintaining that lift in the heart, the openness here. Inhale to open, to find expansion, and exhale, contract and soften. Continue breathing at your own pace. Again, the cues that I present are, the timing is optional, but they are for you to use as a guide for your practice. Find a nice long stretch in the left side of the torso. Beautiful. And then exhale, rain the left fingertips down. All right, my friends. So we're going to repeat that exercise here, but we're going to add a little extra here.
So we give you the foundation of a move, and then we add to it. So we're going to bring our left fingertips down, flip the right palm up and over, inhale. And then we're going to start easy by guiding your right palm down, using your hands to walk in front of you, bringing your right palm to the right, and then pulling the left thumb, left elbow back as we enter the other position that we had earlier. See what I'm doing here? We're exhaling, left palm into the right diagonal of your knee, and then we use our palms to walk ourselves to the opposite side. We're working on the mobility aspect. We're just going to, as we exhale, use our hands to walk. Inhale, lift the hand up and opening the chest. Exhale, use your hands to walk. And inhale, lifting up. We created that basis from the beginning with our forward fold to give us a little bit more flexibility to move in these motions. And focus on maintaining the open chest. Even when you're walking your hands forward, we're going to do this one more round on each side. And then bring yourself to the center in our fold, but this time have yourself up on your fingertips, making little spiders with your hands. Apologies if you're afraid of spiders. You could also think of it as a five-legged Eiffel Tower. But with your hands when you're on your fingertips, going to inhale, open the chest, exhale, chin to chest in a reverent bow here. Now breathe into the shoulder blades, maybe walk yourself a little forward more. Imagine yourself in an extended child's pose, seated variation. Inhale to expand, exhale to soften. See, yoga isn't so super all about being super complicated or doing something above and beyond to look like a pretzel. It's more or less just using the breath to unify the body and the mind and spirit, and to find a little calm in the crazy. Use your inhale to roll your spine back up to seated. Beautiful. All right, we're going to inhale now. We're going to do some twists. Inhale, reach the palms up, palms parallel. Exhale, float your hands down, right palm behind you, left to right knee. Keep that nice long integrity of the spine, lifting the crown. Inhale. Exhale, draw that navel into the back of the spine or in towards the spine and guide your gaze past your right shoulder. Inhale, find lift in the crown, maybe a light lift in the chin, and exhale, draw the navel in to deepen your twist. Being mindful here, no cranking. We don't want to force this twist here. This is nice and gentle. Again, a big part of today's practice is to increase mobility and flexibility, but in a sense that it is accessible by using the breath rather than forcing yourself into the posture. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, deepen the twist. On your next inhale, walk your hands back to starting position, placing them on your knees. And exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, scoop the hands forward, up and back. Drop the left hand this time behind you, right hand to left knee, nice and tall. Exhale, draw the navel in, guide your gaze beyond the left shoulder this time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, deepen the twist. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, twist. Last one. Inhale, find a nice long spine here. Find expansion in the rib cage. And exhale, find contraction, softness, and deepening your twist. Use your inhale to guide yourself back to center. And we're going to we're going to meet in all fours, tabletop position. Take your time getting here. All right, a couple cat-cows to warm up the spine a bit more. Inhale, drop the belly, open the heart space, look forward, tailbone reaches towards the sky. Exhale, draw that navel in. Tailbone down from the mat. Opening the shoulders. Inhale, drop belly, look forward. Exhale, round it through. All right. Now let's give our wrists a little warm up here. You can have a couple options. So you could start by pointing your fingers outwards and rotating your torso one direction and another. If you feel so comfortable, you can go ahead and turn your fingers all the way towards the body here. You can either rotate your body, your torso, to get a nice little stretch, or lean your hips back just a bit to get a nice rich wrist stretch. Whatever suits you. If you're rotating, switch rotations. And when you're done with that, bring your palms back flat on the mat, and we're going to flip one palm so it's facing the palms facing the sky. And do your rotations this way, one way and another, and switch. This seems to look a little funky, but you can really tell the benefits throughout the remainder of the practice. Maybe you can flip the palm face up with the fingers facing you. This is great for people with carpal tunnel or just wrist pain. But again, as I mentioned earlier, if you find yourself in a certain amount of pain, there's a difference between finding a deep stretch and getting into pain. If you find something that is too much, find an easier variation. Be that just like finding smaller circles, or if it's too much to even be on your wrist in the first place, you can practice by doing thriller hands and finding a pull, and taking and pushing your palms forward. There's options for everyone there. Or you can take hold of your hands and making kind of a monkey fist here, making figure eights to kind of loosen things up, make a wave, and then shake it out. It's okay to be a little silly too. It's all love, it's all acceptance. All right. Now we're moving into some sun salutations. Our wrists are all warmed up. First curl into those toes. Curl those toes under and walk your hips back to get a nice foot stretch. And if you want, you can walk your palms up. We kind of got ourselves a bit of a hero variation and give your thighs a bit of a massage here. Usually that's saved for the end, but you know what? A little impromptu massage ain't bad. All right, walk your palms back forward. Imagine your tabletop position, but walk your palms one step higher up. Keep those toes curled under, and then peel your hips up towards the sky. Our first down dog of today's practice. Go ahead and give your dog a little walk. Give it some love. Stretching out those hamstrings, the backs of the feet, and the heels and ankles. You might hear some pops and cracks, which is fine. When you're ready, we're going to start with the right foot. We're going to squeeze that right knee in towards the chest while looking forward. Inhale, and then place that right foot in between the palms. Drop that back knee, and we meet in our first slow lunge. Make sure that you have your legs squeezing into an imaginary line here, and find length in the heart space. Opening up here, looking forward. Maybe you find a little buoyancy to find a bit more mobility in the hips, hamstrings, the left thigh, or the lower abdomen. Breathe here. Maybe you bring your fingertips back just a hair. You can be very light on these fingertips here. You want your focus to be pressing into the heel of your right foot, and then the two big ball joints of the right foot, which is under or behind your big toe and pinky toe. Thinking nice and long from crown to tailbone here. Breathe in and exhale, relax the shoulders. From here, squeeze into that imaginary line. We're going to inhale, swoop the palms up. Think nice and tall, pulling those thumbs back, getting a nice stretch in the abdomen. Lift up in the sternum. Bring your gaze up even. And then exhale, float the palms down like you're painting a wall. Curl those back toes under if not already, and lift that back knee. Step or hop that foot to meet the front. Now we are in forward fold. First forward fold of the practice. Here's an opportunity. We are doing some folds today. That's because we got to loosen up those hips. Think nice and loose here. Allow yourself to be generous with your knees here. You can bend them as much as you like. Shake your head a little yes. Shake it a little no. Even grab your elbows and sway gently side to side. Take your time here. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, lift, place your palms at your ankles or a little above. Straighten the elbows, lift up halfway. Nice long spine here. Exhale, fold. We're going to do 3 of these half lifts here, just for mobility's sake. Inhale, hold the ankles or your shins, halfway lift. Nice long spine, nice neck. Exhale, fold. Last one, half lift. And we fold. Bend those knees nice and generously. We're going to roll it up all the way to Tadasana. Take your time, take your time, take your time. Starting at the base of the spine, the tailbone, we're going to roll it up. Really take your time again, making sure to take time to notice the stacking of each vertebrae. Go slower, even slower. See if you can't notice the stacking of the vertebrae here. The last thing to lift is the head. And palms facing forward. Nice lift in the sternum. Feet just about hip width apart. Breathe. Notice how you feel. Finding ease with that exhale. It's glorious, isn't it? Awesome work. We're going to inhale, bring our arms up toward the sky. Exhale, float the arms down at your sides and swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift like we did before. Plant the palms with your exhale. Bring back one foot and another. We are in plank, lowering down all the way down to our bellies. Squeeze our elbows towards our body, pressing into our palms and pelvis. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Exhale, fold. Lift up to all fours. Once again, curl those toes under. We'll meet again in downward dog.
Left side this time. We're going to squeeze that left foot in towards the chest, looking forward, and plant that foot in between the palms. Lower that back knee. Focus on finding length in the spine here, opening the heart space, squeezing the legs in between into that central line here that we're creating in our minds to create and cultivate balance and strength. Bring those fingertips back just a hair so we can accentuate opening the heart space and looking forward. We don't want to collapse into our left leg. We want to find a lift in the heart. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Remember, if things seemed a little hairy here, follow your breath. Bring yourself back to the breath, especially if your mind begins to wander. Awesome. Inhale, swoop the arms forward, up and back, opening the heart space. Nice long body here. Crescent lunge. Inhale, exhale, smooth the palms forward. We're going to curl the back toes under if not already and lift the back knee and step it hop to the front. Inhale, hold the ankles or shins halfway lift. Nice long spine. And then exhale, fold forward. Now, pay attention. We're going to do 3 Tadasanas, and we're not rolling it up this time. When I cue you, I'm going to invite you to open the arms out wide, lead with the chest, and then open the arms up towards the sky into a mini back bend, like so. Then exhale, swan dive back down. Okay, that was just an example. We're going to do 3 of those. So inhale, bend the knees, open the heart space, use your chest to guide you, lift your arms up towards the sky, lift up, baby back bend, pull the thumbs back, and then exhale, swan dive down. Again, back to the mobility flow. We're going to inhale, use your hearts to guide you. Lift up. Exhale, fold. Last one. Inhale, lift up with the heart space. Baby back bend. This time, instead of folding, float your palms down into Anjali Mudra. Palms placed on each other at the heart center, lifting your sternum to meet the hands. Notice how you feel. Maybe the heart rate has risen just a little bit. Maybe you notice a bit more smoothness of your breath. Maybe a bit more ease here with how you breathe. It's pretty awesome. Inhale, swoop the arms forward, up and back, and swan dive down. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Now option, you could put your fingertips on the mat, keep them on your shin, or even have a little extra space, pressing your palms into the thighs. And then exhale, fold, plant the palms, bringing back one foot and another, lowering all the way down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, fold. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, cobra, pressing into the pelvis and the feet, squeezing your elbows together. Exhale, fold. Last one. Let's see if we can't lift a little higher, pressing firmly into the palms and pelvis. Exhale, release. Gorgeous. Bring yourself back to all fours. Curl those toes under, and we'll meet again in downward dog. Take your time. Just making sure my mic works. Technology is a wonderful thing, and I know it might not seem professional or seamless, but you know what? It's all for naught if nobody can hear me. All right, nice downward dog. This time, pressing firmly into the fingertips to take and alleviate the strain in the wrist. Lift, and I'm sorry, bring your left heel down, lift the right heel up. Inhale here. Exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest. Look forward and plant the foot in between the palm. Now we're going to drop that back knee nice and slowly, thinking that nice and tall. Remember, squeezing those legs into that imaginary line. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the arms up towards the sky. This time here, take your right hand and wrap it around the left wrist, keeping those legs nice and tight here, and pull the left arm up and over to get a nice long stretch from your left fingers all the way down to your left knee. Nice long torso here. Heart remains lifted. And then exhale back to center. Inhale, pull the thumbs back. Exhale, paint a wall to lower the palms towards the mat. We're going to go in for a twist now. So take your right toes to start and let them spill off the right side of the mat. You may want to grab your block here. Place it in the center of the mat. So from here, we're going to lift our right palm up towards the sky for our twist. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bring your right elbow all the way down, down, down to the mat. Or you can bring it to the block here. Whichever works best for you. We find ourselves in lizard pose. You can adjust that back leg as needed. We're having our elbows on our mats here just to find a little bit of stretch here in the right hand or right thigh here, and in the groin area as well as the left hip socket, hip flexor. You can keep that back foot curled toes under or flat on the mat, whichever works best for you. Breathe into those places where you feel a stretch. Again, if this is too intense, you can either stay on your block, your elbows, or you can lift up onto your hands. Meet yourself where you are. There is no shame in doing so. All right. Hands back up. All right. And from here, we're going to slide that foot back. We're going to move the block off from here. And instead of going into cobra, we're going to walk our hands forward into puppy posture, keeping our tailbones nice and lifted, lowering down onto our elbows. Our heart melts towards the mat. Breathe into the openness that you've created in the heart space. Breathe into the shoulder blades. Do 2 more breaths. Awesome. Guide your pelvis down to the mat, and in one smooth motion, we're opening our hearts up. Elbows directly underneath the shoulders here. We are meeting in Sphinx pose. Pressing into our pelvis, tops of our feet, kind of pulling at the mat beneath us with our elbows and palms to press our hearts forward. Chin slightly down, just slightly, to find a stretch in the back of the neck. Breathe. Feel very regal every time I do this pose. Do one more breath here. Awesome work. Bring your palms underneath your shoulders. Lift up to plank. Whisper to yourself that you are strong. I am strong. And then lower all the way back to down dog. Awesome. This time we're going to anchor down the right heel and lift our left up high. Inhale. Exhale. Draw that knee in towards the nose, dome at the back. And then look forward and plant the foot in between the palms. Drop the back knee. Inhale. Swoop the arms forward, up and back. Nice and tall. Relax. Exhale. Relax the shoulders. Take your right or left palm and wrap it around the right wrist. Pull the right thumb back. Inhale. Exhale up and over to the left for a nice long stretch in the right side body. To deepen your twist, you can bend further into that left knee, squeezing both legs into that imaginary line for stability. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then exhale, float both palms down. Scoot the foot to the left, your left foot to the left, to where the toes will spill off the mat. Plant your right palm in the center of the mat and inhale, reach the left hand up high. Breathe deep here. Then exhale, guide your left elbow all the way down to the mat. You can uncurl the back toes as needed and adjust that back foot. Lizard pose. Can you believe we've been doing this already for 2/3 of an hour? Sometimes yoga, it may seem mundane to some people, but it can also really help carry you from moment to moment. Next thing you know, 40 minutes passes. Breathe into those hips. And then walk yourself back to center. Bring your left foot all the way back. And then guide your heart down as we walk our palms forward into puppy posture. Beautiful. Breathe in. Fill up the chest, the shoulders. And exhale, lower down onto your tummy, elbows underneath the shoulder blades or shoulders. And look up, chin slightly towards the chest. Nice long heart here. Sphinx pose. You're doing great. Gorgeous. When you're ready, press up to all fours. Walk your knees to the center of the mat, feet together, and walk your hips all the way to your heels and allow your belly and heart to lay over top of the knees here. Bring your arms to swim around the body. We enter child's pose to breathe into the shoulder blades for just a hair. Nice, refreshing breath, filling up our bodies here with fresh air. When you're ready, we're going to meet once more in all fours. Curl those toes under and lift our hips up towards the sky. All right, from here, we're going to step our feet forward one step, step our hands back a step, feet forward one, hands back one, and two are in a forward fold. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Roll it up. Inhale, Tadasana. Lift our hands up towards the sky. And then exhale, hands to heart. Take this opportunity now to bring yourself to facing the long edge of your mat, widening your feet more than hip width apart. And then from here, we're going to step our right foot towards the right, then our left foot that direction as well. Finding ourselves in a bit of a triangle variation. From here, we're going to inhale, lift our arms up, and exhale, bend our right knee into a high lunge. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Maybe guide your left toes a little outward. Last one, inhale, straighten. Exhale, instead of bending the knees, we're opening our arms wide. Think warrior two arms. And then we guide our right hand to our right shin here for a nice open pyramid here. Finding a stretch in the right hamstring. Breathe, breathe, breathe. If this is too much for you, you can take your block. You can have it long like so, or closer to the mat. Wherever you are, meet yourself where you are. Inhale. Exhale, reach the left hand up beyond your head, and we're going to swipe the table, reaching forward. And inhale to lift back. Exhale, swipe the table. Keeping that front knee straight, pull it back. Last one, inhale, swipe the table. Inhale, pull it back, bringing your arms completely straight once again. Imagine an angel pulling onto your left wrist to lift back up. This time, bring your right toes in and left toes out. We're going to inhale, swoop our arms both up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, open the arms out wide, like you're pushing energy down. We're going to, from here, cock the hips and lower the left palm down towards the left shin. Use your block if needed. Opening up the heart space for a twist, extended side angle. And then inhale, reach the palm beyond your crown here. Then exhale, swim it forward like you're swiping a table. Inhale, pull it back. Exhale, swipe the table. Last one. Inhale, pull it back. Exhale, swipe the table. Gorgeous. Inhale, pull it up, opposite of the other hand, and then use it. Pull at the right wrist to lift back up. Bring your left foot facing the center like you're right. Awesome. Wide-legged. So from here, we're going to go into a goddess starfish back and forth here for mobility. Take your right toes out just a hair, like an eighth of a turn. Same with the left toes. And you want your toes facing the corners of your mat, featuring Bentley here. Hi, Bentley. We're going to have our arms up, making a giant X here, like so. I'm going to inhale, exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows into gold post arms. I'm going to inhale, straighten, reaching up, big breath, big stretch. Exhale, lower. This time, hold here for a few breaths. Pulling those shoulders back like we're squeezing a pencil in between our shoulder blades. If you want a little more, you can lift up to one heel and the other. Or maybe not. You can lower one heel and lower the other. 3, 2, 1. Lift off, breathe. Starfish pose. Nice big stretch here. Big breath. Wiggle the fingers. Maybe if you want more, you can lift up onto those toes. It's a little harder here, but you got this. Make sure your head over heart, heart over pelvis. And then exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades. Stretching down from the tailbone. Breathe here, you got this. Maybe find a little buoyancy. Really working those shoulders. You got this though. Creating space, breathe. And lift off, last one. You got this. 3, 2, 1. And instead of spinning back down, we're going to bring our hands at our hips, crease here, and forward fold. Wide-legged forward fold. You can use your block here if needed. Allow your toes to face parallel once more. Find a gentle sway here, just nice and easy. Shake your head yes and no again if needed. Maybe you bring your palms to guide to the left to find a nice long stretch in the left leg here. You walk your hands to the right and find a nice stretch in the right leg this time. Back to center. Now use your block, or that's completely optional. Place your left palm here or towards the middle of where your feet are. And then we're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, relax the shoulders. And then nice and slowly, bow and arrow our right palm up towards the sky. And then exhale, rain it down, switch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, reach the left palm up towards the sky. I'm going to do one more each time, but we're going to breathe a couple of breaths while we hold it. So left palm on the block or floor. Inhale, reach the right hand up high. Breathe a few breaths here, keeping your legs straight and squeezing towards that imaginary line. Bring your gaze up beyond your right palm here. You got this. One more inhale and exhale, rain it down. Switch, last side. Inhale, open up to the left this time. Nice and easy. If your arm doesn't reach all the way up, that's okay. Everyone's at different levels. You just got to breathe into your torso. Draw the navel in. Inhale, find expansion. And exhale, rain the fingers down. Back to center, forward fold. Now, bring your toes out. Well, heel toe together just one step and bring your toes out. And from here, and you can bring your block behind you where your hips are about to lower. You're lowering your hips. We're going into frog pose. You can use your hands as a guide. Nice and slowly, and take your time here. And you can adjust your block as needed. Doesn't have to be one way or another, just wherever you are. Then adjust your feet as you get closer to the ground to whatever suits you in the moment. When you make it here, you can keep your hands where they are here, or you can place your palms together in the heart center and find some opposition here. Opening the hips here, finding opposition in the arms and legs, breathing into the spaces that you feel a deep stretch. Breathe here and release the palms, bring them behind you, remove the block here, and we will meet on the mat. I have a renegade microphone. All right. You guys have done wonderfully today. So keep the knees bent, walk your palms back, squeeze the elbows together, and lean back into your arms to get a nice shoulder stretch and low back stretch. Breathe into these spaces. Keep the heart open here. An option here, if you want to do a bit of a boat pose, you can lift the one foot up and the other. You can do a little tap, just lowering one at a time, working the abdominals just a bit. Or if you want, you can lift them all the way up and then squeeze in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, squeeze in. And repeat. Whichever works best for you. From here, we're going to scoot forward, grab hold of the thighs, and roll back. From this position, I invite you to do some pigeon legs. We're going to kick our right foot up into the sky with our left knee bent like so, then land the right ankle on the left thigh, creating a bit of a figure four here. You're going to reach your right hand through this triangle in between the legs you've created, wrap around the thigh on the left side, and then meet it with your left hand to interlace the palms together. Go ahead and straighten the toes and give this a pull. It should feel really good. Breathe into the right hip. Should feel nice. Maybe a gentle sway side to side. From here, let's go ahead and open the arms out wide and allow your legs to lower to the left. So your right foot should land flat on the mat. Bring your gaze to the right.
And of course, option here to make goalpost arms if Texas T doesn't work for you. This is also known as cactus arms, if goalpost isn't your thing. All right, unravel. Kick the left foot up this time. Cross the knee, cross over the right knee, and go ahead, reach through and grab through the right thigh and give it a pull, keeping the toes nice and active to protect your knees. Sway side to side maybe. Breathe deep. Last inhale. Open the arms out wide. Lower your legs to the right this time. Maybe bring your gaze to the left. Breathe into the belly. And unravel. All right, my friends, see, this is an opportunity for a bit of yogi freestyle. So do what suits you in this present moment. You can do bridge pose. You can grab your knees in towards the chest and do some baby circles. You can do some ankle rotations, one way and another. Point your toes. You can do happy baby. If you want to play with circulation, you can do legs up the wall pose. You can even do supine butterfly. Rest here. There's so many options. Do what works best for you in the present moment. You could pause the video and do whatever you want for as long as you want. It could be wide-legged fold, seated position. It could be staff pose, staff fold, staff twist. Whatever suits your fancy in this moment. Do what you want here, but when you're ready, allow your legs to spill off the mat. Allow your palms either to spill off the mat or option to allow your hands to rest on your bellies. And just notice the breath for a few minutes. Take this time for you in Shavasana, our final pose, and I'll conclude in a moment. Take this time for you for a moment and I'll let you know when we end. Sorry. Come here, Bentley. My apologies, everyone. When you're ready, we're going to bend the knees and then roll over to one side and then press up to press up to seated position. Being nice and tall. And bring your hands to your heart, and we conclude by bowing to ourselves and the space and the world as we say, Namaste. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Thank you so much for joining me today, my friends. I hope this helped you gain a little bit more mobility and flexibility, and that will help you from moment to moment. Stay tuned for more classes coming to you live on Facebook in the future and on YouTube as well, every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. If you have any questions or interests that you'd like to see in future classes, be sure to comment below or on our Facebook pages. Again, this is thanks to partnership with Yoga with George Ethan and Wilkes Recovery Revolution. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.